I am an American Cancer Society researcher. I'm a postdoctoral fellow, which means I'm still in a training stage right after I got my PhD, but before I'm ready to be a professor. And I do research full-time. I'm in a laboratory up to 14 hours a day in a group of about 25 people. Each of us has our own project. I study lymphoma and a whole bunch of different kinds of lymphoma that are all caused by a virus. I work with live human cells that are cultured from tumors that actually grew years and years ago from patients. And I grow those cells under very, very sterile conditions, so I often work in a sterile hood environment, and I use microscopes to look at the cells, and then I crack them open at a bench and I do molecular biology on them, which means I isolate DNA and RNA, which are genetic components of a cell, and I basically manipulate the cells to express the genes I'm interested in. Some are virally infected and some other ones, and I do tests on them to analyze exactly how the virus is causing cancer in the cells. Well, so far I've had the privilege of discovering two novel genes, actually. Totally unexpectedly discovered them as the course of my project. And I got to name them, which was really exciting, and so that will probably go down as part of my contribution to the field. But in addition to that, I'm really trying to lay the groundwork in a relatively new area of study. The genes that I am studying were only discovered 6 years ago. So I feel like I'm sort of getting in on the ground floor of the research in my area. First of all, cancer is a very intellectual problem. It's very intellectually appealing, and it's a complex situation where you have normal conditions that go out of whack, and it's just plain interesting to study. But well beyond that, I have a lot of personal ties, of course, that motivate me to study cancer myself. In particular, I have a grandfather who has actually survived 3 kinds of cancer at age 87, 3 different kinds of cancer. And then on the other side of my family, I actually have a grandmother who died at age 39, so I never got to meet her. And she died of a cancer in 1973 that today has a 92% cure rate. It's impressive, and it's because of early detection and important research that occurred, and actually because of research funded by the American Cancer Society. Specifically, that particular type of cancer has now been reduced. So I think I'm just motivated by being touched by it personally in my family. So when the research gets tough, on the harder days, I can always remember that there's a bigger reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. The first time that I was able to meet with Relay for Life volunteers, I truly did not know what exactly I was getting into, what kind of a group of people this would be. They are the most motivated, enthusiastic people I've worked with, and it was really empowering to me, actually, to hear their stories, firsthand stories. I personally have never had cancer. Nobody in my immediate family has, although my grandparents have all had cancer. But speaking to someone who's going through it right now is a totally different perspective, I think. In another Relay for event I spoke at an actual relay, and I was on a stage and I had to speak after a 17-year-old cancer survivor. And that will stick with me. Sorry. The things she had to say were, it was just incredible how strong she was and how hopeful she was. And as researchers, hearing that they put their hope in you, I think is really, really intense. You can get in a laboratory for hours and be very involved in your own details, until you get out and experience that kind of thing. You don't really understand the kind of impact you're making.